Welcome champions of Warframe. Echoes of DUviri is here, as well as the Argo Vel weapon. This weapon is so awesome in a way. It's different style, different mechanic. First of all, it can make you super tanky to bullets, means you can tank all the bullets. Second thing, this weapon acts like a glaive. Yes, it goes like a glaive. Of course, it's not as powerful as a glaive, but it is so powerful weapon if you mix it attack speed and glaving and as well tanking with this weapon. It's super crazy. Let me show you. Alright, first thing you want to know is what is this weapon and what's up with it. Here we go. First, new Drifter melee Argo Vel. This is Drifter and Warframe. Argo Vel bolster the warrior who stands fast. Blocking will activate the staggering enemy shield. The power strike knocks down enemies and inflict bleed status. Perfect parry restores your power strike. That's one. Now, if you use it on Warframe, its heavy attack sends forth a glaive that ricochets of enemies. The ricochet is not super wide range, but it's like enemies need to be close to each other. Enough talking about that. Let me show you. First, I'm gonna show you the build where it's the best build I think you should be using. Attack speeding and glaving from time to time, and then I'm gonna show you the heavy attack, and then I'm gonna show you how this weapon acts. Okay, so right click. Now you have to be using only the weapon, nothing on the second hand. There you go. This is the shield. Now be careful, enemies can hit you on your leg. Okay, so if you do this and then you crouch, it's like you block enemies 100% bullets, and I'm gonna show you that in 1 second. Let me release the enemies. Check this out. Check my HP. Look at that. Look at that. Now of course, it's not 360 degree. You have to be careful that enemies doesn't hit you on the side. Yet sometimes the slash can pass through the shield if a bullet gets you in. Now you have to find like some kind of corner like this and you tank. Now the shield will not last forever. Of course, it will last to a certain point where you have to recast it. Rolling guard would be awesome. So if you are some kind of support Warframe, let's go, you go in an endurance run with your friends and you are some kind of support, this weapon is perfect for you to hold in a corner and you cast your abilities. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Cast your abilities and hiding in a corner away from bullets so you don't die, so your teammates doesn't keep reviving you. That is that about the perk. I really love the idea of this weapon. Alright, moving next to show you what is this weapon glaive means. If you do heavy attack, boom, you see that glaive? Of course it's affected by heavy attack, wind up speed and all that. I'm gonna show you this build, the heavy attack build. It's not so powerful as glaive, of course, but you can use it in normal missions, normal star shard. For steel path, you wanna use the light attack that I'm gonna just test right now. Okay, I'm using Nidus so I don't boost the weapon. No Eclipse, no Zeta Whisper, nothing of that sort. It's just a pure build. There you go. Boom. Check this out. Red crits already, and by the way, if you see the numbers flying in a different way, that's the new style. Thanks to the E for making this happen. Much appreciated. Can actually show us the damage that we're doing and so on. Now we have 12 combo multiplier. Let's go in here. I don't have Narumon, but it's okay. You already can see how powerful the weapon is performing. It's worth building 10 out of 10. Not only because the damage, also because it's so it has so awesome perk. It's very unique weapon in its own style. Okay, boom. Now, moving next. This is the build that I just used. Okay, let's go. Elventh Storm, Blood Rush, critical chance, stacks with combo multiplier, sacrificial steel, whipping wound, condition overload, primed smite corrupt. This is the faction mode. Primed fever strike, vicious frost, organ shatter. Now, if you don't have primed smite corrupt, you can throw their gladiator might, no problemo, or you can throw a primed fury, or you can throw primed breach. That's totally up to you, but I have the corrupted, so I'm gonna just put it right there as the faction mods. Now you're saying, Hank, faction mods doesn't add damage. Where I see the damage? Now, faction mod damage plus 55% damage after the total damage. Now you have 1560 damage, right? Now it's gonna calculate after, and it's multiplicative, not additive damage. Okay, I'm gonna make a video one day about the multiplicative and additive damage to it. Of course, if you want to make more additive damage, you can go further with primed pressure point, but you will beyond enemies level 500 or something, you will not do as much damage as using faction mode. Private pressure point will boost your slash, as it's one of the only ways to boost your slash. Of course, Baskir will do and the Carnes Manibal will do, but this one boosts everything in your like it boosts because it's additive damage, not specific element. But for end game, there you go, always faction mode to multiply everything all together. Now moving to the heavy baby. Now here we're gonna use a prime pressure point because we're not gonna be doing static effects unless you're gonna prime enemies. If you're gonna prime enemies, you're gonna want to use condition overload. If you're not gonna prime enemies, you're gonna use prime pressure point. So that's totally up to you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this style of heavy is more towards normal star shard, as you're gonna be glaving. Otherwise, just use normal glaive and go whatever you want with it, because this is like a meme-ish nice style, but it works very good for new players who's clearing normal star shard. Pressure point, sacrificial steel, killing blow 120% melee damage on heavy attacks and 60% heavy attack wind up speed. Of course, we're gonna be using faction. If you don't want to use that, you can use not reach. You can use Fury. You can use Carnis. You can use Buzz. You can use anything that you desire to put in there. Will not matter much. Amalgam Organ Shatter, critical damage, and so on. Moving next, we have Primitive Strike and Vicious Frost. The Gladiator Might, critical damage 10%, critical chance per combo multiplier. Now we go more forward to critical damage more than that. Now, if you really want, you can of course use Corrupt Charge instead of Primitive Smite Corruption. I'm just giving you here different options where you can play around. If you have a Riven, of course, you're gonna place it instead of the faction mode if you want to, or the Gladiator Might, one of these. Okay, let me show you this heavy attack, how it works. So, coming here and go, check this out. It is really nice, it is really powerful. This is level 195, heavy corrupt cannons. Let me put them all together. And I find Nidus works perfect for this weapon. It's just like, if you have a larva on any of your WARFRAMEs and you want to use this weapon, it's just so good. As you can see, the slash is so deadly, it's very powerful, and I'm telling you. Now the problem with this, why I don't say this, you can use it on Steel Path, Endurance rounds, and all of that, because it is not AoE, it's a ricochet. And enemies in Steel Path, sometimes they're in different place and everything, it will not ricochet in all of them and you will end up dead. I don't want that to happen. Now, you got the builds, you got everything that you need. Let me show you first Nidus Prime build. Steel Charge, melee weapon and damage increase 60% melee damage. Now, if you want to make the wind up speed even further faster, you can always use the Swift Momentum heavy attack wind up speed, but stick to Steel Charge to boost the weapon even further. Here you have Fury and Strike. This is the build for Nidus. There is nothing here to boost the weapon in any way. Now, moving to more advanced stuff. Now, as you can see, the weapon is very powerful, the weapon is very good, and it does its job. I'm back to light attacks now. Okay, so there is something called priming enemies. What means priming enemies? If you're using condition overload, if you go back to the weapon and we look at condition overload melee damage per 80% melee damage per statue type affecting the target. So more statue effects the enemy have, the more damage you will do. And not only that, each statue effect, it have its own way. One of them like drops the armor, one of them does the slow enemies, one of them blah 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 blah, viral more damage, and so on to health, and yeah, you get the idea. So priming the enemies makes you more powerful. That's why you want to use Sedu or Epitaph. Now you're saying, Hank, Sedu does viral and you're using Smita Kavad. This is the Smita Kavad build, by the way. There you go. I'm gonna leave you the link up there how to get the Smita Kavad. You're saying, Hank, Smita Kavad gonna Panzer Papayla. Panzer Papayla, not Smita Kavad. Because the reason I said Smita Kavad, because that's what I'm gonna say next. Panzer Papayla casts viral for you. Yes, I understand and I know. But when you go to Endurance and Steel Path, you're not gonna take Panzer Papayla. You're gonna take Smita Kavad. So that's why you see my builds are viral and I'm using Panzer Papayla for this. Okay? So just you know. Now, what is priming? You wanna use Sedu or Epitaph, one of them. If you have like you're gonna use AoE weapon here, you're gonna go for Epitaph. Epitaph is the key here. So let's start with Epitaph. This is the build for Epitaph, by the way. And the key here is the Ogre Seeker, statue duration. You want the status to be as long as possible in the enemies. And one more key is secondary encumber on statue effect, 24% chance to trigger a second random statue effect. More statue effects, more damage, just as I explained to you. Now, you know the weapon, how it performed earlier, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go feel like 12 combo. Let me get the enemies. just feel 12 combo multipliers as you would doing an endurance run, and you're gonna have most of the time the 12 combo multiplier active. Now, the only thing gonna be different now is this. In case you're using Sedu, Alt Fire, and then in case you're using Epitaph, you're gonna do this, priming enemies, and check this out. Bro, look at that, look at that, look at that, boom, dead. They will not stand a chance. It doesn't matter the enemy level, even level cap, guaranteed by Hunk. Okay? So, recapping really quick, this is Nidus build. There you go. Now, this is Sedu build. Boom. This is the Epitaph build. Now, this is the Argo Vel. This is the light attacks, which I highly recommend for you. This is the heavy attack, which is very awesome. Try it, test it, you're gonna love it. And this is another one for a reason, for power spike. Melee damage, of course, is very, very powerful. Now, this is the Panzer Profiler build. There you go. I'm gonna leave you the link up there, how to get it. Okay? Now, that's that. I want to say, guys, this weapon I highly recommend for you 10 out of 10. Not because it's just the best weapon in the game. No, Glaive Prime is the best weapon in the game. But this weapon have nice perks to it. If you're playing support, you can use the shield and cast your staff and glaving enemies from distance. You can use the glaive as a heavy attack for normal star shard. Maybe even on steel path, but don't expect a lot from it. Light attacks is very good for tanks that gonna be like running around, boom boom boom. You're gonna be it's gonna be so good. And the heavy attack works very good for enemies that vortex or larva or they're gathered together. I wanna say gathered together. Nice, awesome, nice. I wanna say thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and like, and next is coming. I didn't forget you guys. Wisp Prime build coming tonight, Full Prime build coming tonight, Gunsen build coming tonight, Wisp Prime Fashion Frame coming tonight. All of it. Stay tuned to the channel. Don't fall asleep. Big love to you all.